Can I just pop this up right here, or is that gonna be bad? Ah! So, I just got my new program from my coach in my email right now. So, it looks like what I'm doing is a 4-week transition period is what he called it. So, I'm really excited to start the transition period because it's different movements, and I just feel like it's gonna be like a little bit less boring. Not that the movements are boring by any means, but when you do them consistently 4 times a week for 6 months, you know, I like to see a little bit of change. So I am very excited to do this transition period, and I am very excited to start my cut / nervous. On that note, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, I think. I want to talk about bulking and bulk mentality, because it's something that I have been struggling with a ton especially in the last 3 months, but honestly for the last 6 months. What I mean by bulk mentality is when you are eating at a surplus and you feel that surplus and you feel very bloated, I guess, and uncomfortable. I would call it uncomfortability. You feel uncomfortable eating more than you're supposed to. You feel uncomfortable in your own skin a little bit, and it starts to get in your head. Now that might not be the case for a lot of people, but for me and for somebody who is so body conscious and has been since like as far back as I can remember, it is like really hard. So when I saw the first spreadsheet with the numbers on there, it said starting weight like 121. Goal weight was like 129 to 131. And I remember looking at it and being like, no, there's no way. But I did what he said. I ate at the calorie range that he said for the most part. Guess what? I am 129.8 pounds. And do I feel like 129.8 pounds? No. Do I feel fat? Realistically, no, not at all. I think people naturally, especially like as women, we grow up thinking that we need to be thin, lose weight, don't eat too much. Like that's our mentality. When you start eating a lot and you start trying to put on weight, it's a very weird thing already, like in your head. And then you start to inevitably compare your progress with other people's progress. So I've seen women who bulk and they don't seem to gain an ounce of fat in anywhere that I can see. To me, I would get really discouraged and think, oh, I'm doing something wrong. And sadly, I think that happens to a lot of people. But realistically, the majority of people who bulk and they bulk right are going to gain some fat. Genetically, that's what determines where you put on your fat. Even when people say to lean bulk, to eat healthy, the fact of the matter is that a bulk is a bulk. So you are eating at a caloric surplus regardless of what it is that you're eating. You are going to put on weight at a surplus regardless of where that surplus comes from. Yes, you want it to come from good foods. Yeah, you want to stay within your macros. But you're still, at the end of the day, the whole purpose is to put on muscle, and it's going to put on fat at the same time because you're eating literally more than your body needs to maintain. You cannot determine like where you're going to put on fat, where you're going to lose it. It really was hard on my body image for a while. But honestly, you have to think, I guess you just have to think to yourself, like, is it worth it? Why am I doing this? Why am I eating all this food? Or on the other end of the spectrum, why am I starving myself? Or it feels like I'm starving myself, you know? What is the end goal here? Think about it. Is there a reason why you're doing this? For me, yeah, there is. For me, I was not gaining any muscle and I needed this extra push. I needed something to get me out of that plateau, and for me it is absolutely worth it, like no questions asked. Honestly, now that when I look back at my pictures today, and I compare them to the pictures from when I started, I can obviously see the difference and I can see why it's worth it. So I know that I can complain sometimes about how bulking, I'm just like ready to start cutting, which is true, I am ready, I'm super excited, but it's still something that I'll probably miss a little bit. I mean, having that kind of like, that, how do you explain it? That leniency with food almost. It's like, not so much that you just go like hardcore balls to the wall, like eat whatever you want, but you have way more options. That part is fun. On that note, my camera is overheating, which I knew was going to happen. Hopefully I like any of this footage. I know I said that last time and I scrapped it all, but this time I really hope I like this footage because this is a topic I really wanted to talk about. And who knows, maybe nobody will even care, nobody will even watch or listen or whatever, but to me, it's just something that is realistic. I don't know. To me, it's been hard. I stopped doing a lot of physique updates because it's been hard. Like, that's just, I don't know, that's just the truth. So, I wanted to talk about that. It's been on my mind a lot this week. If you care, thank you for watching. If you even made it through this, thank you for watching. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like me. And I'm gonna go look at this spreadsheet now. Okay, bye. Try not to get like my horrible living room carpet in the background. That's the life of having multiple dogs. Ow. Nah. Nah.